Welcome to this second installment of the series. So this episode is going to be focusing on educational philosophy and why should we, make it a priority to include philosophy in probably the curriculum today, and or rather, why I think philosophy should be incorporated into the curriculum of students today. So, first point, why philosophy should be taught. So, we all know when we hear PhD, if someone has the title of PhD, we're expecting them to know a lot of what they have that PhD doctoral degree in. Um, and looking at the Greek roots of uh, PhD, we see that it comes from philosophy, and philosophy means the love of knowledge, and a doctor comes from the Greek word which means to teach. So it's and doctor also means teacher. So literally, the highest degree that higher level education confers to people, to to uh, to doctoral candidates, we call them, in Greek, if you were to extrapolate from those meanings, teacher of the love of knowledge. And I think this is quite profound if you take a look at it, because, in my opinion, if you're going to teach someone something, I think you should teach them how to love it first. I think and because philosophy is the love of knowledge, I think it could be a gateway for students who might not be that interested in, especially math. We all know some people have a visceral hate of mathematics. Uh, Others don't, and that purely derives from your own experiences, or your personality, what you like, and so this is one point to ponder upon. Um, Still remaining why we should teach philosophy in in today's curriculum. Um, many many great minds throughout history that have been good in the um, good in mathematics, good in sciences, applied sciences, have been great philosophers. Rene Descartes, we all know his you might know the saying that I think therefore I am, to consider that your existence is based upon your thoughts, your rationality, your consciousness is 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 quite it's a very deep point. And of course we know Descartes, the Cartesian plane in mathematics, the x y coordinates. We in high school or in middle school, even we know that he also made that. And so I what I think is that many of the sciences derive from philosophy. They derive from the love of knowledge, because how are you going to kind of like Confucian way of thinking? How are you going to be able to pursue um, harder, more elevated thoughts if if you don't have any interest in what you're thinking about? That's super difficult. So let's move on to our second point. Philosophy allows us to think about thinking. Now, what do I mean about this? Sure, you can think about things on levels, on strata of interest, on strata of understanding. What level do you want to engage your thoughts in? This is one fundamental principle that the concept, or the idea of the Socratic method of critical questioning derives its meaning from. If a higher level question engages a higher order of answering, and so it is the same with a lower level question, in capturing a lower level of answering. And so we must be. I think we, as individuals, we must take it upon ourselves to think about the way we are thinking. Um, are we considering the ramifications of our thought? Are we fully developing our thoughts in a rational manner? Are our arguments based upon, facts? Do we have credibility? The triangle, the logos, pathos, and ethos. Are we combining these effectively? Rhetoric, in a sense. Are we using rhetorical means to the best of our advantage to get our thoughts across? And I think that's one thing which we could all improve on, including myself, especially. So, and let's move on to our third point: are the implications of what philosophy in modern curriculum would look like. I think philosophy can start a philosophical subject on the way we pursue queries. It can start at a young age. Know thyself is a famous saying. Why should we know? Why should we know ourselves? Well, if we start knowing ourselves, we start exploring our limitations, and once we know our limitations, we know how far we can go and how far we should be able to push ourselves. And I think that's an important part of any academic career or any pursuit in the academe. So the question I'm leaving to you is, should philosophy be integrated more heavily in modern curriculum? I say more heavily because without knowing it, the curriculum right now, it still incorporates a decent amount of philosophy. Critical thinking, especially in mathematics. We are taught, especially like if you're living in the United States, if you know the Scholastic Achievement Test or the SAT, you know that the SAT compared to the ACT is more focused on thinking outside of the box, and on the at the drop of the hat, you're supposed to extrapolate the information, although it may be about specific or particularly easy concepts to digest if delivered in a simplistic manner. If you add critical thinking, it engages a higher level of thinking. It's back to the Socratic method. How can we order ourselves? How can we order our way of thinking to revolve around what's engaging us? So this is I go back to my question: should philosophy be integrated more heavily in modern curriculum? Thanks.